Welcome to the Building Blocks of Business, a podcast show where we dive in and explore various aspects of the business world. This show is brought to you by ESL NITK in association with NITK Toastmasters Club. I'm your host, Anuja Goyal, a second year BTech student in the EC department. Today, you are listening to the fourth episode of Season 2 Startup Stories. In today's conversation, I get to sit with our distinguished guest, Dhaivik GJ, an ITK alumnus from the batch of 2018 who graduated as a mining and minerals engineer. In the final year of his graduation, he raised an angel investment for his startup, ChangePay MMS Technologies, and launched it in NITK in September 2019. He is the co-founder of ChangePay, which is a novel initiative introduced to help residential students procure all their essential requirements, such as stationery food, fest tickets, and lots more while staying in hostels. Dhaivik has also won a gold medal in bodybuilding and was the athletics team captain of NITK 2018. His hobbies include trekking, bodybuilding, and reading books. A very warm welcome to you, sir. It is an honor to have you here with us.
Hi, Naja. Thank you.
Let us begin. So, from National Institute of Technology, Karnataka, as a mining engineer to the co founder of ChangePay,
Mm.
how has the journey been for you?
It's been well as of now. It all just started for an hackathon or just to enter the C-Self Lab. Then it slowly, what do you say, took up its pace and it got into something really big as of now. And it was a good journey to be frank. Let's hope it reached its next milestone.
Yeah, that's great. What inspired you to come up with ChangePay and begin something like a contactless delivery service on university campuses?
It all just started to enter into a club or you know, to help some students do some, what do you say, a coding activity or to conduct an hackathon or something like that. Okay, then, about this mess refunds where your mess refunds will be collected by the
Yes,
hostel office and it will be given to you at the end of your campus days.
yes,
That was an opportunity what we got and we just what do you say, rode on it, and we built a system for students so that they can access this mess refund while they're inside this campus itself. So at that time, we got to know how, what do you say, how well the student responds towards this mess refund facility, and there is no central system for the student to have this financial, what do you say, financial wallet system inside this campus or to have their life to make a bit easier while they're staying inside campus. Saying all these activities, we came up with ChangePay. It's not like if you just say like tell me one story why ChangePay happened, like I couldn't say it, I wouldn't be doing justification for ChangePay itself.
yes, of course. It's actually a very relevant reason because being a college
Hmm.
student myself, I can understand
Hmm.
the ease ChangePay offers.
Hmm.
So moving
That's
on,
good.
yeah,
Hmm.
let's dive into the initial days of your career. How did you
Hmm.
manage academics along with starting up ChangePay?
Managing academics was okay. I was not this bright student who has this A plus pointer, and I was not that much interested in my brands too. So
Yeah,
it was okay. I was doing decent enough in my academic grades. But managing change pay while staying in campus was a bit of a tiring job, to be frank. Like finding a teammate, getting funds, or explaining it to your family that you're registering a company itself, and convincing your parents or convincing your teammate or convincing your seniors to join your company who had already like placed in some of the companies.
definitely.
So as a founder, if you are still in campus, yeah, you have to hustle through all these activities. But I was, what do you say, I can say lucky enough to get all these three just before I graduated from NITK. I was able to find a CTO who's 2 years seniors to me and who had, what do you say, 2 years work experience in Visa, and also an angel funding from our own alum who is from 2000, sorry, 1996 batch. So it's okay. Like I would like to say, just Keep on going. And if your idea and your passion is good enough, all the things will follow.
Absolutely. That's right. So, if you were given 1 lakh rupees as the startup founder, how would you spend it and why?
See, it's a tricky question to be frank. Like, if this amount is given for myself, I'd like to spend it on a good vacation.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like if this amount is being, what do you say, given as a funds to my company, I would like to give more discounts to the students or do some promotional activities where I can make the student life a bit better.
That's great.
Yeah.
You are the perfect example of you working hard and making it on your own. How important do you think is a degree in today's world to become successful as a startup founder?
I'm not that successful, okay? Like it just in a phase. And yeah, I mean, if someone hears this, my friends would really laugh. But yeah, like degree, it's a matter of question. Like I wouldn't say like it's a bad answer to be frank.
Right,
For like if you're a kid in NITK, a degree would be important or see, like, if you're good at something, you definitely do. Like, if you're a coder, if you know your ways, you can easily crack up a job. Like, the degree isn't required. But the good fact about having a degree is the life you lead in this 4 years of degree. Like, you will know about the real case scenarios about companies or other stuff. You will know about your friends or the real issues which is happening around. You will be first time coming out of your house. You will be interacting with the real world. So I would say the degree is itself important, and means like for me to put it in straight words, for you to work in any company, the degree is not important. For you to be a really good engineer or to understand about the society, I would say degree is very well important. It will give you enough base to understand about the subject, what he likes or what someone have want to do.
right. What about someone like you who didn't have an interest in their own degree but wanted to pursue something very different? So, do you think at that time was it necessary to have the degree of choice?
Yes, like see, if I was interested in my branch, I wouldn't be sitting here and having this podcast itself. I would be a good mining engineer someplace here or someplace abroad. But that point of not interested in branch made me do something else. And I love to be this leader position guy and who tries doing stuff and help people in various different ways. And in this case, my startup is helping people. That's all.
That's a wonderful thought. Moving on, a lot of us have an inner desire to start our own venture at some point of time in life, but we don't necessarily
Hmm.
have the skills to. What do you think are the
Yeah.
crucial skills and the traits that define an entrepreneur?
For an entrepreneur, the foremost thing he should be resilient.
Right,
And he should not take no for an answer. Means, like you will stumble on every, what do you say, on every person who will just willing to say no for your thing. Like if you want to pitch to your friend, he will say, no, much, I am busy with something else. If you are trying to pitch your product to a customer, he says, no, I'm busy with something else. Like, all these no's adds up and it just drags down that enthusiasm level in entrepreneur. To be frank, that is where you have to click, or all the entrepreneurs who might be listening to this, that is where everyone has to come out and make sure to turn that no into an yes. And entrepreneurs should have this attitude of get it done. Like it's not important for someone to, what do you say, start a company like Mark Zuckerberg and you have to code your own company. Like it's not how a company works. In company, the first and foremost important thing is to get the work done. If you're building a product, if you're good at coding but you're better at marketing, I would suggest you do marketing. Give this coding exercise to someone else who is really good or really better than what one can do or like what you can do. So it's like you have to connect with a lot of your seniors. You have to extract free work, hire juniors. Like it's a bad word to say free work, but yeah, like as an entrepreneur, if you don't have enough money in your uh, startup, you have to make people work for your seeing your passion itself or at free of cost.
All right. How do you define a rewarding career in your own words?
A rewarding career is something like you should do what you love to do. In the sense, I was just giving you an example for some of my juniors. It's like when you have been asked the question in 10th or 8th, 9th times, that adolescent age, like you would love to give it up an answer. Like, I want to be a pilot, I want to be something else. See, like you have to pursue that passion. And
Yes.
like I would say, you might not end up being the same, but yeah, something adjacent to it. Like you might not become a doctor, but you might become a dentist or a cardiologist or something else. Like the passion should be towards what you like to do. Like I would say that would be what do you say, a successful journey in anybody's life. Because I've seen most of my what do you say, most of my friends who are in NITK, who are in my own branch, got selected in Infosys and all, but he wanted to become a diehard soldier. So he ended quitting up Infosys within 6 months. Then he started this. And some people went to coal mining jobs. They left it. Now they are getting into business. Some two people have started their own ventures. So it's like at the end, it's like you can call it a destiny. You will never do what you don't like to do.
Yes, that's true. What has the journey of entrepreneurship till date imbibed in you? Or let's say, what are the key teachings from this journey?
See, entrepreneurs makes you really hard towards the outer market. Like as I was just saying, like you won't take no for an answer. Also, like you would explore a lot. Like till you are an entrepreneur, means in a regular student life, you would be joining any company as a software development engineer or a junior technical engineer or an IT engineer, and it's very well limited to certain domain. Like if you're a mines engineer, there are certain roles and responsibilities for you to do. If you're a bank manager, you have roles and responsibilities to do. But in entrepreneurship, it's it's a lot. Means you would see what other people do, how to interact with different departments at a very basic level. Means like you have to interact with the product team, you have to interact with technical team, you have to interact with the customers, you have to interact with the financials. Like you would play a multidisciplinary role. Like there is no rule book for an entrepreneur or a founder. I
Yeah.
hope like I answered your question.
Yes, yes. So, what is that one message that you want to send out to the upcoming entrepreneurs today?
I would say never give up. If you are good enough, if your idea is good enough, the money, the resources, the people will definitely follow. And mainly in initial days, at least I would say for an year or two, the startup is about those two founders or people who started it and what the cause they were really solving at that time. Okay.
Yeah,
It just like you shouldn't give up. That's all. Like, and all the other resources will definitely follow, at least in one or the other, uh, in some other phase. Like, not exactly what you wish, but you will get it eventually.
absolutely. So, lastly, how has COVID-19 impacted your business? And importantly, how did you strategize your approach to make the most out of this time?
We were doing business in these residential campuses. We were doing contactless delivery. As you know, in COVID-19 times, this contactless delivery thing was a huge boom. So all the kirana stores, all these hotels and all were shut. We took this opportunity and we started a venture in some of the tier 2, tier 3 cities called Gubbi, Tumkur, and one place near Mysore. We tried helping people, but you can't make a business out of it. It was just a CSR activity, I would like to say. Our core activities was affected a lot, by a lot to be frank. All the campuses got shut. You guys had to leave campus hostels and had to go home. Everything got online, online classes, online exams. and it hasn't picked up yet. So we are still waiting for the campuses to reopen with, I don't know, the period of reopening is uncertain. But we're trying to strategize ourselves as a close community contactless delivery platform for these apartments and all. And we are trying, yeah, I would like to mention this also. We recently got certified by Startup Karnataka for one of the innovations who are battling against COVID-19. So by this certification might be like we would get more sales orders from the other campuses and we would like to implement change pay there and hopefully our business will be back again.
That's great.
It's hard. That's all I can say in COVID times.
Yeah, definitely.
And for everyone it's hard. It's not only for us.
And with that, we come to the end of today's episode. Thank you, Dhaivik, for sharing your experiences and insights on entrepreneurship and for taking up the time
Thank
to
you.
make this happen. By sharing your journey with our listeners, I'm sure you have inspired many budding entrepreneurs and have given them a direction on their way up.
Thank you, Anuja. I would like to thank you and all our listeners who want to choose their path towards entrepreneurship.
I would also like to thank our listeners. I hope you take away something valuable from today's episode on startup stories. Until next time, stay home, stay safe, and keep believing in yourself.
Thank you, Anuja. Thank you, everyone.